Picture this, an island so dramatic, so mountainous, so thoroughly covered in jungle-draped peaks that when ancient sailors spotted it from the sea, they didn't think, oh, lovely beach holiday destination. They thought, hill. Just hill. So they named it after the Malay word for hill, Phuket, which eventually, through the wonderfully chaotic telephone game of history, became Phuket. After that, European traders and cartographers knew it as Junk Ceylon, a name that sounds like a slightly chaotic car boot sale, but was in fact their best attempt at pronouncing the Malay Ujung Selong, meaning the Cape of Ceylon. And here's the fun bit. That name didn't disappear. It's now a shopping mall right here in Patong. You almost certainly walk past it. History is everywhere if you squint. We're not here for the mall. We're here because Phuket is the largest island in Thailand. Bigger than you think, more mountainous than most people realize, and home to some of the most dramatic scenery, the most committed festival goers, and some of the most enthusiastic mosquitoes in Southeast Asia. And right in the middle of its most famous, most chaotic, most gloriously over-the-top beach town, Patong, sits the Holiday Inn Resort. Not a boutique hideaway, not a six-star fantasy, a well-known international brand promising solid, comfortable resort experience in one of Thailand's most electric destinations. But is it actually worth it? Is the Holiday Inn Resort Patong doing enough to justify a booking over the dozens of alternatives on this island? That's what we're here to find out. Buckle up. Welcome to Voyager Smith. In 2024, my wife and I sold our house and all of our belongings and left for Thailand from the United States with our 2 Labrador retrievers. Join us as we review all of our travel and talk about our experiences living abroad. And if you find this information useful, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Now enjoy the video. As you can see, the Holiday Inn Resort Patong sits on the western side of the island. You're approximately 1 hour from Phuket Airport and about 34 minutes from Old Phuket Town. Feel free to pause this video if you want to take a look at all the points of interest. All right, before we get to the pools, the rooms, the food, the mosquito survival strategies, there's something deeply practical you need to know before you arrive. Something the booking confirmation won't tell you, and something that could save you from standing in Patong's midday heat with 4 bags and a slightly confused taxi driver. The Holiday Inn Resort Patong has 2 separate entrances. The main entrance leads into the original building, the one your brain pictures when you book. Then there's the Busakorn entrance, which takes you into the newer wing of the resort. 2 buildings, 1 resort, 2 very different front doors. Now, Phuket has a long tradition of things being slightly more complicated than they first appear. This is, after all, an island that spent centuries being called the wrong name by people who should have known better. But the 2 entrance situation is entirely solvable. Just know which building your room is in before your taxi pulls up. 2 buildings, 2 entrances, 1 resort, know before you go. Right, the lows. I always think it's more useful to front load the honest stuff, like a good friend who tells you about the traffic before you take off, not after you're already stuck in it. So low number 1, no air conditioning in the hallways or elevators. Phuket sits roughly 8 degrees north of the equator. Its mountains trap humidity like a warm green sponge. The island is, meteorologically speaking, enthusiastic. So you step out of your beautifully air-conditioned room into the corridor and it hits you. Warm air, uncooled. The atmosphere of a very pleasant sauna that no one asked for. And here's the important context. This isn't a Holiday Inn problem, it's a Patong problem. The lack of air conditioning in shared corridors and elevators is generally widespread across Patong. Hotels, restaurants, bars, outdoor shopping complexes. The whole area tends to cool the spaces where you sit, and I say that lightly sometimes, and not the spaces you pass through. Once you understand that, it stops being a surprise and simply becomes a fact of life. Like the heat itself, which the island has been telling you about for centuries. Does it still hit you every time you leave your room? Absolutely. Every single time. But the Holiday Inn's not an outlier here. It's operating in line with the local reality. Adjust your expectations accordingly, and you'll be fine. So load number 2, the water closet's small. The rooms here are generously sized, more on that in the highs, because it genuinely deserves a moment. But inside that generously sized room there lurks one spatial compromise. The water closet's small. Noticeably small. The kind of small where the rest of the bathroom is doing very well for itself, and then you open that particular door, and the room says quietly, "We ran out of the budget here." It's not a deal breaker, it's not going to ruin the holiday, but if you or anybody traveling with you has mobility considerations, or if you simply prefer your bathroom architecture to be proportionate, it's worth knowing in advance. File it under charming quirk with mild inconvenience. Low number 3, mosquitoes. Now, a brief word about Phuket's unofficial wildlife. The kind that finds you, not the other way around. Phuket is mostly covered in mountains and jungle. Lush, ancient, genuinely spectacular. The kind of green that takes centuries to build and looks like it knows it. The island is vast, dramatic, and alive in every direction, and it is absolutely teeming with mosquitoes. More than Hua Hin, more than Bangkok, and more than you might, frankly, be emotionally prepared for on your first evening. The Holiday Inn's grounds are beautiful, and part of that is what makes the mosquitoes so very happy. This is not the hotel's fault, it's the island's personality. Pack repellent, good repellent, the kind that means business. Apply it before you sit by the pool at dusk, before you wander the gardens in the evening, before you do anything outside after about 5 p.m., and also during breakfast. Thailand-wide advice. But Phuket turns the dial up. You've been warned with affection. And by the way, if you need to fend off mosquitoes, you can stop in any 7-Eleven. They're all over the place. And you can just make the universal sign and say mosquito, and the store vendor will understand you and you can buy some. Highly recommend you get that if you're coming to Phuket. I don't know if it's just this time of the year. We've just started the monsoon season, so it just started getting rainy, but I would definitely get some mosquito spray because it'll help you out. Low number 4, no coffee maker. If you stayed at a Holiday Inn anywhere on this planet, and there are an awful lot of them, this one will not surprise you. There's no coffee maker in the room. What awaits you on that little tray is a kettle, some instant coffee sachets, and instant tea. This is standard Holiday Inn policy globally and apparently eternally. It's one of those brand-wide decisions that makes complete sense operationally and is mildly tragic experientially, especially on a morning when you want to wake up on a beautiful Thai island and you just once want a coffee that tastes like coffee. The good news is this is Patong. There's excellent coffee within walking distance. The breakfast buffet has proper coffee. The hotel outlets have proper coffee. The entire island is not conspiring against your caffeine needs, just this one kettle. Manage your expectations. The coffee's coming. It's just not coming from your room. Enough of that, the good stuff, and there's plenty of it. High number 1, the rooms. The rooms are large, properly, generously, unexpectedly large, in a way that you genuinely don't always get at this price point in a beach resort. But here's what elevates it just beyond square footage. The layout's really clever. The bedroom separates cleanly from the dressing area and the bathroom. You get distinct zones within the space. It sounds like a small thing until you're on day 4 of a holiday and one of you wants to sleep in while the other gets ready, at which point it's a very large thing indeed. The design is contemporary and well maintained. It feels like a room that's been looked after, rather than one that's been looked through. And the insulation, more on that in just a moment, adds a layer of calm that genuinely makes the space feel more restorative. For a mid-range resort in one of Thailand's liveliest beach towns, this room is doing a lot of things right. High number 2, the balcony. Phuket has one of those qualities you can really only appreciate from a little elevation. It reveals itself slowly, the mountains that gave it its name, the pockets of green that survive between the development, and the Andaman Sea doing its blue-green thing in the distance. And the balcony here gives you a proper perch from which to take all of that in. This is not a token balcony, not the kind of narrow ledge where you can just about stand and feel big outdoors. It's a real usable sit down with something cold outdoor space. Morning coffee, or in our case, morning instant whatever. View will depend on your room. The space itself will not disappoint. High number 3, sound insulation in the rooms. And sorry this video is not about that, but I already showed you the room. Here's the thing about Patong. It is not, by any reasonable definition, a quiet place. This is not a criticism. It's just simply the truth about a beach town that's been doing its absolute most since the 1970s and sees no reason to stop. The streets are lively, the nightlife is real, the ambient noise level of the surrounding areas is, to put it generously, very committed. So arriving at the hotel room in the middle of all that and finding a genuinely noticeably quiet hotel room, that's a small miracle that should be celebrated. We did not hear noise through the walls, we didn't hear it on the street, we didn't hear Patong being Patong outside, which if you spent a night in the wrong room in this town, you'll know is not something you take for granted. The room holds its own acoustic world, and it does so reliably. In a beach party town, good sound insulation is isn't just a nice to have. It's the difference between a holiday and an endurance test. Holiday Inn Patong gets this exactly right. High number 4, the pools. 6 pools. 6. 3 large adult pools and 3 kiddie pools. And the scale of what's on offer here is genuinely one of the world's strongest arguments for itself. For a family, this is essentially a full day sorted out without ever having to leave the property. For a couple or solo travel, it means there's always a quiet corner pool available, even at peak hours. The pools are well maintained, well positioned, and generously surrounded by a lounger space. This is a resort that has clearly invested in its aquatic infrastructure, not as an afterthought, but as a centerpiece. And given that Phuket's combination of mountains, heat, and Andaman Sea proximity creates what's basically the perfect argument for a pool-based horizontal activity, having six of them is frankly civilized. High number 5, the location. Location is always personal. We flag that in the title and we mean it. If you like Patong, this hotel's position is a genuine high. You're in the thick of it, the beach is close, the restaurants, from street food that costs almost nothing and tastes incredible, to proper sit-down dining that costs slightly more and also tastes incredible, are everywhere. The nightlife, the markets, the sensory overload of Patong doing its thing is right on your doorstep. But I wouldn't take your kids down to the Patong walking street at night, not unless you want to spend the rest of the evening explaining to them why they can't go see the ping pong show. And if you feel like a cultural detour, the Big Buddha, one of the largest in Thailand, sits serenely on a mountain summit with views across the entire island, looking out over the Andaman Sea like it's been there forever and plans to stay. Which, to be fair, it does. It's well worth the trip up. Or you can pop into the Junk Ceylon Mall, walk around the shopping center named after a 16th century Portuguese sea chart corruption of a Malay cape name, and quietly appreciate the strange, beautiful loops of history. Both are valid uses of an afternoon. If Patong isn't your scene, if you're into seclusion, silence, the more meditative end of the island life, this probably isn't the right base, but if you chose Patong deliberately, the Holiday Inn's location is one of its strongest cards. High number 6, the service. The service here is excellent. Consistent, genuine, and quietly excellent, which in a destination like Patong, where hospitality varies dramatically depending on where you land, is something worth calling out properly. From check-in to check-out, the staff are attentive without being hovering, warm without being performative, and professional without being stiff. Requests get handled, the tone is right, you feel looked after in a way that doesn't feel like a performance. It's one of those things that's hard to film and it's hard to photograph, but you feel it from the first interaction and it holds throughout the stay. This is a Holiday Inn that takes its service standards seriously and a team here that delivers on it. Simple as that. High number 7, the breakfast buffet. So let's talk about breakfast, and also about the single most important practical decision you'll make when booking this hotel, because these two things are related. The breakfast buffet is not included in the base room rate. It costs 520 baht per person per day. In Patong, where you have excellent breakfast options at every price point within a short walk, that number is worth sitting with for a moment. But, and this is a meaningful but, if you're an IHG member and staying for 3 or more consecutive nights, that drops to 420 baht per person per day if you pay up front. Over a week-long stay, that difference starts to add up. So what do you actually get? You get hot Thai dishes sitting confidently alongside Western classics, a proper egg station, fresh fruit that's genuinely actually fresh, a solid pastry and bread selection, the kind of variety that makes you stand at the start of the line slightly overwhelmed in the best possible way. And a small, delightful note for anybody visiting in October, Phuket hosts one of the most extraordinary festivals in all of Thailand, the Vegetarian Festival. Blech. But hey, if that's your thing. A 10-day celebration of extraordinary intensity with street processions, elaborate ceremonies, and food stalls across the entire island serving Thai vegetarian cooking that will rearrange everything you thought you knew about vegetarian food. Or it won't. If the buffet reflects the season, lean into it. You're not going to be disappointed. The verdict. So, is a Holiday Inn Resort Patong really worth it? Here's my honest answer. Yes, but with the right expectations going in. And I want to be precise about what right expectations means, because this hotel genuinely earns its yes. Let's zoom out for a second. Phuket is the largest island in Thailand. Most of its mountains. It was known for centuries on European maps by a name that is now, delightfully, a shopping mall. It hosts one of the most dramatic vegetarian festivals every October in Asia. It is home to one of the biggest Buddhas in Thailand, overlooking the whole island from a hilltop, like a very peaceful security guard. And after the 2004 tsunami, which hit this coastline with devastating force, Phuket was one of the first places in the region to install tsunami detection buoys offshore. A quiet act of preparedness that speaks to an island that's learned to take its relationship with the ocean seriously. This is not a simple island. It has layers, history, drama, beauty, chaos, and an absolutely genuine commitment to a good time. A hotel that suits it should have character too, and the Holiday Inn Resort Patong does. The rooms are bigger and better insulated than you'd expect at this price point. The balcony is genuinely one of the quiet pleasures of the stay. 6 pools make the argument for not leaving the property all day. The service is consistently warm and professional. The location, if Patong is your scene, is excellent. The lows are real but contextual. The warm hallways are Patong's personality, not the hotel's failing. The mosquitoes are Phuket's personality. Bring repellent, full stop. The small water closet is a quirk you'll forget about by day 2. The absent coffee maker is just Holiday Inn being Holiday Inn. It's been that way since before Junk Salon was a shopping mall. Know which entrance to use before your taxi pulls up. Know the breakfast pricing before you get to the front desk. Pack the repellent, get out on that balcony early before the heat arrives, and watch Phuket wake up. Do those things and the Holiday Inn Resort Patong will give you a very good time on a very extraordinary island at a pretty reasonable price. So if you've stayed at the Holiday Inn Resort in Patong, and especially if you found the second entrance the wrong way, I'd love to hear about it. Please drop a comment down below for us. If you're planning a Phuket trip and you're weighing your options, please drop your questions below, and I'd be happy to answer with what limited knowledge I have. There's more Thailand content coming on the way. There's tons of things to see here. We're going to be doing a high-speed boat trip that we're going to do a separate video for out to the PP Islands and out to Maya Bay, where they filmed the movie The Beach. So we'll have some great footage of that and some nice drone footage for that. Anyways, until next time, travel well, watch out for the mosquitoes.